This evening, security guards shot dead in East Coast Demerara. 24-year-old woman allegedly murdered by sister's boyfriend. Suspect critically injured after self-inflicted gunshot wound. Women's Empowerment Program now open to men. WIN expands training opportunities in childcare, graphic design, and more to include male participants. Major drug bust in Georgetown. Prominent businessman arrested at a nightclub, wanted by Interpol for alleged ties to international mafia organization. Parika and Supanam ferry services resume operations on Thursday. Emergency repairs at Stellings complete. MV Kanawama and MV Sabanto to set sail again with free Wi-Fi coming soon. Asian crisis deepens despite Prime Minister's resignation. Gang violence continues to displace thousands of people in the capital, Port-au-Prince. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for March 19, 2024. I'm Baby Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. Tonight, a community is left in shock as police investigate a heartbreaking incident that claimed the life of a 24-year-old. The tragic event unfolded earlier today on the east coast of Demerara, where the victim lost her life in an alleged murder. Dale Jarvis has more details.
Police are currently investigating a tragic incident that unfolded at Dazzle Housing Scheme East Coast Demerara, resulting in the alleged murder of 24-year-old security officer Ashanti Liverpool earlier today, March 19, 2024. The suspect, a 31-year-old security officer from Haslington, East Coast Demerara, who shared a common law relationship with the deceased woman's sister, is at the center of the investigation. The sequence of events began just after midnight, when the suspect purportedly collected a rifle and ammunition from a colleague at the Hong Kong Chinese supermarket in Good Hope, East Coast Demerara. Upon returning to his girlfriend's home, he encountered Ashanti Liverpool and inquired about her sister's whereabouts. This led to a confrontation during which the suspect allegedly fired shots at Ashanti, causing her to collapse in a nearby yard. After the incident, the suspect proceeded to the Hong Kong supermarket at Industry Railway Embankment, East Coast Demerara, where he sought assistance from another colleague to clear the rifle. However, an explosion inside the supermarket left the suspect critically injured with a gunshot wound to the chest. Law enforcement responded swiftly, transporting the suspect to the Georgetown Public Hospital, where he remains in critical condition under police guard. Investigations into the incident are ongoing as authorities work to uncover the full details surrounding the tragic events that unfolded in Dazzle Housing Scheme. Reporting for Headline News Update, Dale Jarvis.
Thanks, Dale. Police are investigating the alleged murder of Marcus Adrian, a 36-year-old logger from Hururu Mission, Upper Berbice River, following a tragic incident at 7 Mile Hururu Mission on Monday, March 18, 2024, around 12:30 hours. The suspect, a 28-year-old tractor operator from the same area, has been arrested in connection with the incident. Initial investigations suggest that Adrian and the suspect, who were friends and used to cut logs together, were consuming alcohol when they had a disagreement. Allegedly intoxicated, the suspect threw Adrian to the ground and inflicted several chops to his neck and face. Despite Adrian's attempt to flee, he collapsed on the trail. The suspect was apprehended by the Tishau and handed over to the police. Adrian's lifeless body was discovered lying on the Hururu Trail in a pool of blood and was subsequently escorted to Linden Hospital Complex. The scene was processed and photographed by authorities. As the investigation unfolds, the suspect remains in police custody and further details surrounding the tragic incident are expected to emerge. In other news, the Women Innovation and Investment Network, WIN, previously focusing on empowering women, is now extending its reach to include male participants, making a significant expansion of the program. Spearheaded by the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security, WIN offers training in various fields to equip participants for entrepreneurial and employment opportunities. Minister of Human Services and Social Security, Dr. Vindya Prasad, emphasized the importance of including men in the program, acknowledging that investing solely in women neglects the potential of men and boys. While male participants in WIN is not new, the program is now officially open to men, and efforts are being made to engage more male participants. The ministry has responded to the growing interest in WIN by expanding its course offerings, including traditional subjects like childcare and garment construction, and new courses such as plumbing, carpentry, and graphic design. Additionally, WIN now provides courses on various topics through Coursera, further enhances skill development opportunities. The program remains accessible with no educational prerequisites, and applications are open until March 31st, 2024. Interested individuals can apply online through the ministry's website or social media platforms, reflecting WIN's commitment to fostering inclusivity and empowering individuals from diverse backgrounds. Stick around when we return. Major drug trafficking suspect arrested in Georgetown, and emergency repairs were completed at Parika and Supernan Stellings.
Are you looking for an exciting Easter? Look no further than Digicel stores for incredible savings and a free Easter surprise. This Easter, Digicel is offering an extravagant deal. Purchase the Samsung A05 for just $21,000 or the Samsung A24 for only $39,500 and receive a free kite with your purchase. Make this Easter a memorable one. Visit a Digicel store today and crack open these amazing deals. Digicel, the network for everyone, everywhere.
Good girl, forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Our smalls make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Middle Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Welcome back. Breaking news tonight as law enforcement authorities make a significant arrest. A prominent 50-year-old man has been apprehended and accused of involvement in a serious criminal conspiracy related to international drug trafficking as per an Interpol warrant. Dale Jarvis has more details.
During a targeted operation at the Main Street night spot, Vitesh Gupta, a prominent 50-year-old businessman residing at Duke Street, Kingston, Georgetown, was apprehended by law enforcement authorities on Monday, March 19, 2024. Gupta's arrest comes from an intelligence-led operation at a Main Street, Georgetown bar. Gupta stands accused of involvement in aggravated criminal conspiracy aimed at facilitating international drug trafficking, as per an Interpol warrant. The businessman, known for operating a boutique in Guyana, has been linked to one of the world's largest and most powerful mafia organizations. Given his alleged involvement in transnational criminal operations, law enforcement agencies have been on high alert regarding Gupta's activities. His arrest marks a significant breakthrough in ongoing efforts to combat organized crime and disrupt illicit drug networks operating across borders. Gupta is currently in police custody pending further legal proceedings, which are expected to reveal the extent of his involvement in the alleged criminal conspiracy. Reporting for Headline News Update, Dale Jarvis.
Thanks, Dale. Parika and Supernant Stellings will be ready for operations on Thursday. The Transport and Harbors Department is pleased to announce the successful completion of emergency repairs at the Parika and Supernant Stellings. The link span bridges and abutment beams at both stellings were extensively damaged, thus requiring emergency repairs. A collaboration between the Ministry of Public Works, the Transport and Harbor Department, and the Demerara Harbour Bridge Corporation resulted in remedial works being completed within the stipulated time. The Transport and Harbors Department noted that the MV Kanawha and the MV Sabanto will resume normal operations on Thursday, March 21st, 2024, with the first trip commencing at 5 hours. A ferry pass with the schedules for both vessels has been uploaded to allow persons to commence bookings for the holidays. The department also announced that by early April, travelers on both ferry boats will enjoy free Wi-Fi access on board. Don't go away after the break. Cubans stage rare protests amid blackouts, persisting economic crisis, and South Africa water shortage. Rationing emergency imposed as taps run dry.
Are you looking for an exciting Easter? Look no further than Digicel stores for incredible savings and a free Easter surprise. This Easter, Digicel is offering an extravagant deal. Purchase the Samsung A05 for just $21,000 or the Samsung A24 for only $39,500 and receive a free kite with your purchase. Make this Easter a memorable one. Visit a Digicel store today and crack open these amazing deals. Digicel, the network for everyone, everywhere.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Our smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Mill Street, Georgetown, telephone 226-1082.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. Violence by criminal gangs continues unabated in Haiti. That's despite concessions by the government, including the resignation of Haitian Prime Minister Ariel Henry. The fighting has displaced around 160,000 Haitians, and thousands more have been forced to flee the capital, Port-au-Prince. Al Jazeera's Manuel Rapallo reports.
A bloody scene in the outskirts of Haiti's capital, Port-au-Prince. In the early hours of Monday, gangs reportedly attacked 2 upscale neighborhoods, leaving nearly a dozen dead. It's the latest in a spiraling wave of gang-related violence gripping the country.
We woke up this morning with bodies in our community of Pétionville. Pétionville is not that kind of community where people are killed, and we are here to remove the bodies before the children start walking to school and the vendors start to arrive.
Caving to demands by Haitian gangs, Prime Minister Ariel Henry announced last week he would resign following the creation of a transitional presidential council. Despite the announcement, gang violence has not abated, sparking new concerns from international observers over a crisis that's already grown out of control.
It is not hyperbole to say that this is one of the most dire humanitarian situations in the world.
In neighboring Dominican Republic, security forces were deployed on Monday to the Haitian border. Locals there say the humanitarian crisis is also having a dramatic impact on commerce.
Here, the situation is difficult. Not many Haitians come due to the problem in Haiti. They come twice per week and 5 days that they don't come because the situation in Haiti is not easy.
Leaders from other Caribbean nations are holding talks to resolve the crisis, including aiding with the establishment of a transitional presidential council. A multinational police force to restore order in Haiti, backed by the United Nations and led by Kenya, has reportedly been delayed. Kenyan officials saying the deployment of such a force will happen only once the transitional council has been created. Manuel Rapalo, Al Jazeera.
Cuba is blaming the United States for provoking rare anti-government protests. Demonstrators are demanding government actions to deal with food shortages and power cuts. Farmers are unable to grow crops due to the worsening economic crisis and U.S. sanctions. Al Jazeera's Ed Agustin reports.
Within Communist Cuba's rigid, unproductive planned economy, agriculture has long been the Achilles heel. Farmers are particularly affected by Cuba's deep economic crisis. In recent years, oxen have become the go-to option to plough the fields. That's because there's not enough diesel for tractors. This farmer says that 5 years ago, his vegetable crop was double what it is today.
There's nothing. There's no fertilizer, there's no herbicide. That makes it hard to prepare the land.
State figures show that in recent years, rice, bean and pork production have decreased. The near elimination of hunger in Cuba was until recently seen as a standout achievement. But now it's rising, spurred by a new layer of sanctions imposed by the Trump and Biden administrations. Neomer has had 24 cows stolen over the last 2 years. Instead of sleeping at home, he now spends his nights watching over his herd.
The biggest problem we're facing is robbery. That's what's affecting us the most during this crisis, and it just doesn't stop.
Cuban farmers can own cows, but by law they must sell all of their milk to the state. Until recently, the state gave a kilogram of powdered milk every month to every Cuban child under 7. That was done by forcing dairy farmers to sell their milk at knockdown prices. But today, production and distribution are faltering, and children's milk is arriving late, if at all. Cuba is ever more dependent on food imports, but there's a cash crunch. Economists say the new sanctions knock billions of dollars a year from the island's foreign exchange earnings. Back in the 1960s, a US State Department memo said the sanctions on Cuba should aim to bring about hunger, desperation, and overthrow of government. That's still the aim, this military historian says.
This is the most dramatic case of international economic warfare aiming, among other things, at agriculture. That's what it's aimed at, and it works.
The market price for milk is now 4 times higher than what the state pays. To make ends meet, farmers are increasingly siphoning off staples to sell on the black market. The upshot is there's less food available at prices people can afford. Sunday saw protests in several provinces in Cuba. One of the chants, we're hungry. Ed Agustin, Al Jazeera, Ciego de Avila, Cuba.
Internationally, water rationing is one of the emergency measures being imposed in South Africa as taps run dry. Politicians blame climate change and a heat wave. However, many residents are blaming poor management for the shortages. Al Jazeera's Haru Matassa reports.
In the middle-class suburb of Johannesburg, clean water is being lost through burst pipes. Experts say South Africa's commercial capital is losing 25% of clean drinking water through leaks. Parts of the city can go for days and weeks without a drop to drink.
We're seeing the result of over 10 to 15 years of neglect on maintenance of our infrastructure. So from the pipes to wastewater treatment works to pump stations, not enough money was being spent on the maintenance.
Supplies are also erratic in poorer neighborhoods. In Soweto Township, one area can have water, while elsewhere it's dry. People without water ask neighbors for help.
We have to fetch water for the kids. They must wash and go to school. We have to cook for them, and they have to bath. So this is stressful for us. And our councillors are doing nothing about this thing.
Empty buckets, we have no water!
With the general election due in May, frustration and anger over failing public services is a big issue for voters. Some analysts say the governing African National Congress could lose its parliamentary majority for the first time since apartheid ended in 1994. Businesses are also struggling with the water crisis. This is a restaurant in the community, and that's the owner over there. She says she can't operate, she can't work because there is no water. The taps in the area have been dry for about 2 weeks, and people in the area say they don't know when they'll get water again. Politicians say climate change and the recent heatwave are to blame for this latest crisis. For many families struggling to get a life essential, that's not what they want to hear. Harun Mutasa, Al Jazeera, Johannesburg.
This brings us to the end of the regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3-day weather forecast. And that's SafeTV2 headline news for this Tuesday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. You can tune in tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. for a rebroadcast and at 7 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.